Good morning and welcome to this week's CLC's podcast. Man, we're going to talk about a hot topic today, which is student loans and the craziness and chaos that's going through through this place rampant. So, as the student loans all became back on board and payments started to have to be being made after the pre-pandemic or the pandemic ease and the ramp up and giving everybody the heads up. Okay, now they're back, right? And then to add to that chaos, we've got a bunch of bad information and bad marketers and advertisers and scams going on out there right now too. The one I want to talk about first is the biggest lie I've seen in social media in this space, probably ever, which is this big claim about a FERPA violation that DOGE violated the Family Education Rights Privacy Act, FERPA, when it went in and audited the student loans that were being managed by the Department of Education, right? So, man, FERPA doesn't even apply in this situation, and it's a statute written for protecting people from their schools releasing their information, not a third party, not an audit, not a servicer. So it is just a ludicrous claim to think that you're going to be able to get your student loans wiped out or expunged from your credit report. So if you're hearing people say this or people push this, run the other direction. They are absolute scam artists or negligently incompetent. So we'll address that first. So that's the first lie. But with all the chaos going on, I wanted to kind of give you guys maybe the top 5 things I would be doing if I had student loans right now. Because as the wind down or the shutdown of the Department of Education and the back and forth and all the programs being handcuffed and paused and everything right now, there's some things you can be doing to help yourself down the road. And again, like these are the top 5 things I would be doing if I had student loans. Right now, I would be saving every piece of documentation I can get my hands on. Even if that's a screenshot from your online servicer, grabbing what the status is now, showing what is due, what is not due, downloading any and all statements you can. And here's the main reason why, is because as they're saying the Department of Education and these student loans are going to get transferred and managed by the SBA, Small Business Administration, something they haven't done before, obviously, student loans. So there's a high probability that there is going to be a bad transfer in regards to the information. Data is going to be lost. And if you've got the data down the road, you're going to have the power and have the opportunity to be able to get some of these items corrected or deleted from the credit report, just because it's going to more than likely come in inaccurate, or unverifiable, which is what Credit Law Center does every day, is use mistakes as leverage to gain deletions. And this is going to help you prove that. So now some of you are trying to do the income derived repayment plan, right? Meaning it's your payment's going to be based on how much money you make, not how much money you owe. And now those online applications have been paused. They're not taking applications online, but you can still submit a paper application, because I think this will hold up and I think this program will survive. And if you've at least gotten that application submitted, you're going to already be in line. When they turn the online application back on, there's going to be an onslaught, and you're going to have to wait, right? So you can at least get in line by completing that in a paper application and sending it. Now, if you've got a servicer or you've got a payment due, if you can make that payment, you're definitely going to do that, because it's going to have a devastating impact on your credit score if you go late, which is going to impact your availability of credit. You can start to see your credit card companies lower your limits, close your cards because your score drops down. It's going to limit your opportunities on a private refinance or just any and all of your borrowing power, whether you're trying to get a mortgage or wanting to refinance and take some equity out. Just really limits your options if you get a late payment there. So if you can't afford to make that payment, don't bury your head in the sand. Pick up the phone, call your servicer and talk about a forbearance or a deferment, right? A forbearance is forbearing payments for a while, right? And that means kind of just gives you another break. That's what everybody was in during the pandemic. But also too, a deferment is deferring the payment to the end of the loan, right? And that literally is just giving you a complete break and moving it on. You're still going to owe it, but that can keep you from getting a late payment on your credit report and protect that credit score, which is very important for everything, even all things outside of the student loan. So now, the other thing is, if you're on the public service loan forgiveness plan, or you're trying to get into that, that's been around for a while. I think that's probably going to survive as well. Keep working through that process. Contact your HR department at your employer to find out if that's even a possibility for you, depending on the industry and the job that you have. But those things are still there. Keep getting certified for that. You want to make sure you can log that time as well. And probably the number one thing I would not be doing, here's 4 things I would be doing. The one thing I would not be doing right now is looking at refinancing. With the uncertainty and the ability and the options that you have, I would not be looking at refinancing right now. You're going to have a lot of people going, do it before these programs go away. The programs that actually give a benefit other than just refinancing the debt on a private student loan matter, the government programs have all been paused, right? So there should be some relief and benefit to those down the road, and they all won't go away. So I wouldn't be looking at refinancing or advising people to refinance right now. So hope you found this information helpful. If you hear about the FERPA claim, laugh and move on, and stop following whoever it is pushing that message. And then use these 5 things, whether it is to give good advice to your prospective borrowers, or if you're a consumer going through this chaotic time with your student loans. So again, hope you found this information helpful. If there is ever anything on a credit report that doesn't look right that you need help with, we're the place to go, and the experts in the credit reporting field. So hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks.